Hey class, how's it going? I just want to review what is due in week 5 and hopefully give you a little bit more insight. So let's jump into it. First thing, this week will not have as many submissions or things to do like on Canvas. However, it's still going to be a fair amount of work. So make sure you guys give yourself plenty of time for what you need to do this week. So week 5 is where we're going to get into the style guide, where you guys are going to create a style guide for your brand. This style guide should be a finished style guide by the end of the week, and there's some components to it. So to get you started, by Wednesday, the first due date, I want you to create your voice statement. That's the first thing that we're going to be doing. The voice statement, you can totally use what you wrote for the brand manifesto, modify it a little bit. It should set the tone of voice for your brand. It should say this is our clear message, or our what we're really going for. And basically, you could take a lot of what you did for the brand manifesto and just kind of change it from there. Okay, so that's the first thing that you're going to be sharing that on the discussion boards along with the style guide outline. So the style guide outline is also due Wednesday. There are a number of different sections to the style guide, so I want you guys to actually write up the copy for these sections. So I would literally, this is straight from Canvas, copy this list and then add a bullet point of what you were doing for each one of these. So the voice statement, it has to do with the part above. So you could just take that and put your voice statement in that section. Then you're going to talk about primary and secondary audiences. That you can look back to your audience analysis worksheet, and that should hopefully, you should be able to pull the personas that you created for that. So you should have a primary and a secondary audience. Literally, you can just pull from what you did for this that worksheet in I think it was week 2, and just copy and paste that and bring that back over if you did it right, So make sure you guys look into that. You should have like a little bit of something, these are our main audiences, this is who I'm going after, and so on. Maybe a little bit of description and talk about the reasons why, something of that nature. Each one of these, by the way, should probably have a small paragraph of text associated with it, which is why I'm having you do an outline. The brand colors, you want to, skip number 3, the logo. You should talk about the logo. You should talk about, this is my primary logo, the size, positioning, proper logo uses, what not to do with the logo. If you have a secondary or tertiary logo, that's the time to talk about it as well. Okay, so that's the logo. The brand colors are different from the logo. So these are the colors that you're going to use whenever creating visuals. So if you are going to, you're going to pick your color scheme for your brand, and it's not specifically talking about the logo colors, it's your brand colors in general. So I want you guys to show swatches and talk about, okay, these are the colors that I have. You need to show, this is the CMYK code, RGB code, hex code, and then when to use certain colors. So you might have a color that is dedicated to all of your calls to actions. You might have a dedicated color for like learn more buttons, or every time this situation pops up, that's the color that we want to use. So that's the kind of things that you want to talk about. You want to set up some sort of strategy. That also goes along with typography. You want to talk about, okay, these are our fonts that we're going to be using whenever we have the opportunity to use fonts in our designs. So we want to establish, okay, this is the title fonts, so the fonts that I'm using for my H1s, the titles and so on, and then this is my fonts that I'm using for body copy. You probably want to talk about specifics, sizes, maybe kerning or leading, what not to do kerning or leading, or anything to that nature. Okay, that's the typography section. Photography is where you're going to talk about, these are the styles, the look, the feel. A style guide should basically establish, this is the look and the feel of my brand. Another thing, okay, yeah, we'll talk about photography. So basically decide what kind of photography you're going to do. You might end up thinking about, these are the different types of photography. So you might be doing some product, maybe you might be doing some like selfies or situational or environmental. Come up with those and then basically say, this is what I'm going to try and go for every time I shoot this. The last one out of these sections, so the additional design elements, are things that you're going to use, like design-wise. Maybe you might use checkers. Maybe you might use painted spots or whatever. You want to come up with those. Basically, The style guide should kind of lend you towards that direction anyways. Design out your style guide, get that look and feel that you want, and then think, okay, what kinds of things did I use in order to give it the look and feel that I want it to look? So that's the style guide outline. You're going to be creating that, and then by Saturday, help out your peers, your classmates, comment on what they've done, and kind of give them insights, help them out wherever you can, and so on. Okay, so that is the discussion board, and basically by the end of the week, you're going to have your finalized style guide. This time, you are only going to be turning yours in the style guide itself. It should be a PDF. It should be multi-pages. You should have a page for every single one of these bullet points, as you can see like down here. We should see a cover page. We should see a page for the voice statement. We should see a different page for the primary and secondary audiences, a different page for the logo. You might end up having 3 different pages there. You might have 3 different, or a page about the colors, a separate one for typography, photography, and then additional design elements. You're going to package that all up into a one PDF and then submit that. You guys can use the program of your choice to create your style guide. Some people do it in InDesign, some people do it in Illustrator. It kind of depends on what you guys feel more comfortable with. Those are the 2 that I recommend because you're able to use multi-pages. You're also able to put together some character styles and paragraph styles, which will make your life a lot easier if you decide, you know, I need to adjust this a little bit. Then you adjust your character style and paragraph style, if you remember that back from Comm 130, and then it makes that adjustment across the board. So get into that kind of stuff. Again, you're only going to be turning in the PDF of the style guide by itself because it should be self-explanatory. It should be multi-pages, and I think that's pretty much everything that I'm trying to cover, everything that typical things I see. So let me know if you have any questions. As usual, use those discussion boards if for the questions and answers. And if I don't get back to you in 24 hours, email me and I will respond as quickly as I can. Okay, good luck. Let me know if you have any questions.